Our next guests are joining us for the first time. Please welcome real estate expert Holly Jacques and her special guest from La Jolla Design Build, Mark Jacques-Scialdone.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. We're talking about La Jolla today.
Talking about La Jolla.
I think this might be the first time we ever talked about La Jolla on the show. It's crazy.
Is it?
For at least in
Okay.
a while.
It's been a very long time if we've mentioned it, but we've never talked about it, never
Yes.
dove deep
Yep.
into it as we're going to today. So, Mark, your company, obviously you're focused on La Jolla.
We are.
You develop in La Jolla.
We develop in La Jolla, and we actually develop in special pockets of La Jolla. And there's so many aspects to La Jolla. It's amazing the difference in one aspect, from Wind and Sea to Bird Rock to La Jolla Shores to the Village to the Marylands to it goes on and on. There's so many different aspects to La Jolla that, and intricacies and different streets and ways of developing for specific areas, whether it's family homes, whether it's ocean homes, or a village.
A lot of second homes too, right?
A lot
in
of
La
second
Jolla.
homes.
Mm-hmm. Famous people own second homes. In La Jolla.
Absolutely.
A lot of them.
A good majority of the oceanfront homes are actually second homes in La Jolla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So obviously oceanfront is obvious, right? That's a prime piece of real estate where you want to be, but there's other pockets too where you guys are looking to develop in certain areas.
Absolutely. There's certain streets that from one street to the next, you could be literally 2 houses over and your house could go from a value of $1,000 a square foot to double, and not being on oceanfront. There's a street called Camino de la Costa, the Street of Dreams, which is one of the nicest streets in La Jolla. And if you're one street off of there, if your address or your mail doesn't say that, there'll be effectively a different price value.
Huh. That's crazy stuff, isn't it? Because we're talking about, when he's saying a double value, we're talking about the difference betwing like a $2 million house and a $4 million. We're talking about millions of dollars.
And then some.
Even
yes.
more than on that street, yes.
At least.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a big, big difference.
Yeah.
So now you guys you're mostly doing residential stuff.
Yeah, we're mostly doing custom residentials. We love the Bird Rock area. We love west of La Jolla Boulevard, so as close to the ocean, if not on the ocean, as we can get.
And you're not flippers, per se. You're developers. So
Yes.
you might buy a house and redo it, but you're actually building it up into something bigger.
Yeah,
right?
we're not flippers. What we do is we build homes, and a majority of the time while we're building the homes, we'll find a buyer. People come. It's hard to find properties in La Jolla, and we find a lot of buyers that want to come in, and we allow them to customize the home somewhat towards the end. We like to put our homes to be our homes, our signature homes. So we get to a point where we give them a couple options, usually our options, whether it be cabinet styles or finishes, but majority of the things that we do are our homes. We buy the homes, we build the homes. We actually keep some of the homes, we rent some of the homes. And
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of times we do sell the homes.
Okay. So I'm curious about the rental side. Is
Yeah.
that something where you like doing vacation rental?
You
type
know,
deals?
vacation rental, it's an amazing business, but it's a job in itself. We don't get involved in the vacation rental business because it's a whole nother world. We do long-term rentals.
Long-term rentals.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard that's been that's more difficult to do in the high end. Is that true?
It is. You know, there's a greater multiple when you're doing the vacation rentals, but just like a hotel, cleaning services, people in and out, it's not as stable. So you can definitely make a lot more money, but a lot of the neighbors seem to, and we really focus on the neighborhood and we want to be a great part of the neighborhood. So a lot of the neighbors don't like it if you have a home that you have people in and out of, and whether they're celebrating a 50th anniversary or someone's throwing a bachelor party, when someone does a vacation rental, they're entertaining or doing something that the person that lives next door with their family really doesn't want to constantly have someone entertaining next door. They want a home with a home next door. They don't want a business, and a lot of times they feel that the vacation rentals are businesses.
Okay.
And it's detrimental to the
That makes
neighborhoods.
sense. So obviously, when you're developing these homes, like you buy a lot or you buy a lot with an existing home on it.
Yes.
You're adding to it. You're adding square footage. Is a lot of what you do is it vertical? Is it adding that extra level?
You know, it goes a lot of directions. We do a lot of the 51% remodels where you come in and you tear down most of the walls and everything's practically brand new. But yeah, we want to maximize views. So maximizing views, 9 times out of 10, we're going up.
Going up.
Yeah, going up.
And what's that like? Because there's a whole process behind that, right? You have to get permission. You can only go so high.
Absolutely. There's height restrictions. Obviously, there's a 30-foot height limit where in majority of the places where we use. Going up requires you to go into the ground. Going into the ground is the hardest part of construction because, building that stability, building that foundation, whether you're building just a rooftop deck, which is the same thing as building a floor, or if you're building another 2 or 3 story home, it's always how you go down, what you do, and the limitations are neighbors, the limitations are height restrictions, and the limitations are floor area ratios.
Ah. Yes, those things.
Yes,
Those
all
are,
of them.
those are the main things that are the issues. Now, Holly, you sell the homes. You have one right now.
I
That's
do.
listed,
Yes, we do.
correct?
We do have one oceanfront right on Abalone Place, and Mark does his projects, and he literally finds the projects. He builds the projects. He goes and gets properties that aren't even on the market right now, and then gets them listed. Does his remodeling, and Abalone happens to be one of them.
Yeah.
He remodeled that one. We have it on the market. It's a 3,100 square foot. It's 4-level homes. They added 2 levels to it, so it's got
And a rooftop deck.
and
Two
a rooftop.
levels.
It's got an amazing master suite with a sitting area, and then above that, it's got the roof deck with the patio, and it's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. So
That's incredible.
we're working
it's
on
a
that
neat,
one
it's a
right
neat
now.
project.
So you went up 2 levels on that one.
Oh my
Yeah, it's
God.
actually a
How do you do that?
Yeah, it's actually a split level house. So it actually was 2 levels, and since the topography of the lot allows for it, we were actually to build the bottom level. It actually ends up being 4 levels with the rooftop deck, but we had to go down into the ground, build a very, very stable foundation and caissons, things of that nature, to be able to support the weight at the top.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
That's so amazing that you can do that, though, because I mean, those types of homes are very rare, right? I mean, is there another home like that one in all of San Diego County? Probably
You know,
not.
that's the neat thing about La Jolla. You know, you have a lot of infill developments. There's a lot of older homes. And
That's
there's-
true.
Yeah,
I
there's-
didn't realize that about La Jolla, but a lot of those homes are really
Yeah.
they're older. I don't want to say they're decrepit, but a lot of them are old and untaken care of.
I have some wonderful neighbors in that home, and actually right across the street from that's 104 years old that's lived in La Jolla his whole life. Gets in his little car, drives to work every day, writes the checks, goes and gets his coffee, and loves the neighborhood. But there's a lot of the homes and a lot of the people that have been there for years and years. Once you're in La Jolla, you don't want to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's very few opportunities to be able to repurpose, and when you can be able to build a new product, there's definitely a high demand for it.
Is it something that you think that there will be, this will always be happening in La Jolla because it's such a desirable area? It's so well branded in the world, really. When you say La Jolla,
Yeah.
and people mention La Jolla, and everyone knows what you're talking about, it's like, ooh, La Jolla.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that, in my opinion, if you go all up and down the west coast of California, La Jolla is probably one of the best deals. If you go up to, you know, if you go anywhere up the west coast, if you're in San Francisco, if you're in Los Angeles, you're in Santa Monica, Malibu, you're paying almost double. And La Jolla is the gem. I mean, it does translate to that, and it is. And you know, you're kind of insulated with that price bracket because there's always going to be a demand for that high-end product.
So Mark, you run a very interesting business. You obviously know a lot about real estate. I'm curious what you think about today's real estate market here in San Diego. Do you have any insights for us?
You know, I've been doing this for about 20 years, a little over 20 years, but it's definitely, as we've always seen, the real estate market is cyclical. Every 10 years or so, there's an ups and a down. We're definitely on an upward swing. You know, you can never predict the top, but I believe that we're at a good place. We're at a great place, a much better place than we were many, many years ago. A lot of developers and home builders and contractors had a rough time, and we're definitely in a positive marketplace now.
Do you think it'll stay that way long?
You know, I believe that there'll always be a demand for good product, and if you create good product, you'll have that. I don't believe that we'll go down to the 2006 prices, but I think there could be some corrections.
Okay. So minor corrections, but overall seems stable to you.
I do believe so.
And you're in a very high end of it, so it's...
Yeah, and with the high end, you know, if the market goes down 10% on a $500,000 house, that's, you know, $50,000. If the market goes down 10% on a $5 million house, that's $500,000. So yeah, there's definitely abilities to, you know, for corrections.
Like, get your calculators out, you know. 'cause
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sharpen your pencil, if you will, because a lot of money. So there's a lot of money on the line. So
Yes.
that's why I wanted to ask you, because I mean, obviously, you have to pay very close attention to this to know what's going on.
The main thing for developers and builders, we always have to watch is our carrying cost. You know, when you're buying houses of this nature and this size, there's definitely a carrying cost and there's a cost to money. So if you're holding on to the product for too long, or if you have the product for an extended period of time, your costs definitely inflate. But then again, if you make something that's unique and something amazing, you just need one buyer.
Yeah, very, very true. Holly, what do you think about the market today?
I agree, and I think La Jolla is a little bit unique as to kind of the regular market, because what I found with his houses is that there's a lot of people looking for their second home or their third home. I had somebody, you know, they own a home in Pennsylvania, they also own a home in New York, and they were looking for a winter home in La Jolla. So I think you've got a lot of the second home and that type of buyer for La Jolla. But overall in San Diego, I mean, it is. The market's going crazy right now. It doesn't matter if you're in La Jolla or if you're in East County, Central San Diego. It's just even in the beginning of the year, I feel the market has gone up significantly.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, and I'm talking like a 50,000 to 100,000. I've had buyers getting right out of their price range because the market's gone up so quickly since the beginning of the year, and I think I'm finding that the appraisers aren't even keeping up with the market right now. Yeah. So you know, it's in a good place right now, and I think going, you know, and into the summer, it's going to be a really good market.
Again, huh?
Yeah.
All right, great stuff.
A lot going on.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank
you.
Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
your
us.
time. It was great to speak with you today. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free.
As a part of that vision for quality schools, at Jerebec we have a very involved parent community. They are part of what we do at school. We look at all aspects of our program. On any one day at our school, we might have between 20